Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 60. Hit that theme. Welcome back. I hope everybody's had a good week. I'm Liz, and I like to talk to you about my cross stitch and my quilting and my crafting and all the things I get up to in the week. So thank you all for joining me. As my friends Pam and Steph would say, special hello to anyone new. I've received a lot of fun comments this week from people who are catching up on my old videos. So hi, welcome. I can't believe I have 60 of these for people to go back and watch. Hi! That's so many videos. I'm sure most of you know this, but I started these videos over a year ago in kind of the middle of the summer of 2020 when everybody was just at home, not having a good summer. And yeah, just it's been a fun year and a few months. And I don't know why I'm getting nostalgic all of a sudden at the start of this video, but hello, welcome back. I've got fun things to show you this week. Or should I talk about my week first? I had a pretty fun week. I bought a wedding dress yesterday. Party horns! Haven't hit those party horns in a while. Gotta bring those back in. Yeah, so I had my first kind of big like wedding dress try-on appointment last weekend that I think I mentioned, and I found one I really liked, but I was like, I need to see some more. And so I did, and well, I found the fancy sparkle pony dress of dreams yesterday. And I don't think you can tell, but there is still glitter in my hair from that dress. So that there's a hint, there's glitter involved, and it's very sparkly. But like, I feel like in a beautiful way, not like it's over the top, but it's not like, I don't know. It's from the brand that I bought from. It's from their Royal collection. So that should, just imagine what it could be. You will all see it in my wedding photos. I don't want to share it before then, but it's fancy sparkle pony. I did it. Yeah, it was really fun. Like, we tried on a few dresses that kind of felt like the same as my last appointment, where I was like, yeah, these are nice, but I don't know. And then she was like, you know, what do you want? And I was like, less lace, more sparkle. And she's like, I'm gonna go grab the sparkliest dress we have. And I was like, oh no, that's too much. And she's like, just try it on. And then I put it on and I was like, oops, I love it. So I'm like riding that high today. I'm very excited. So I got the dress ordered. It'll take a couple months, and then, you know, we'll do the fittings and all of the stuff. I sent my sisters and my bridesmaids photos and videos of it yesterday, and everybody was just like, stop it, that's amazing. So I'm feeling very excited. One thing else checked off the box. So yeah, that was some kind of fun wedding stuff. Oh, and my mom found a dress she likes. Well, she ordered it, and it's returnable. So like, she's going to try it on and make sure it works. But yeah, so dresses are coming together. Yeah, that's the wedding update this week. The other stuff, what else did I do this week? Oh, I took the boys, my little nephews, we went and got Halloween decorations for their house because they've been very jealous seeing all the other houses in the neighborhood all decorated. And of course, you know, my sister Allison just had a baby. She's not, you know, taking them out shopping and a bunch of stuff right now. And I was like, I'll take them. And so, yeah, Rob and I took them to Target and let them pick out all kinds of fun Halloween decorations from like the dollar spot. And then they had some stuff on clearance, and And yeah, so they had a great time, and I was over there last night and I saw their little decorations spread throughout the house and on the front porch. So I don't know. It's just so cute. They're at a pumpkin patch today with my parents, with their grandparents, and my parents are sending so many cute photos and videos. They're having like the time of their life. And especially because today in Central Texas, it is a high of 70, low of 50, like just perfect fall weather that we get for literally 2 days a year. And yesterday and today are those 2 days. It is perfect. So yeah, they're all living their best tiny little boy lives. They love it. So anyways, let's get into the stitching, shall we? I'm going to start with FFOs, of which I have 3. Okay, so first I'm going to start with 2 pieces that I framed this week. If you remember last week, I showed you my mom's My Christmas list. So I had actually bought that frame, and then these 2 I'm about to show you at the same time during a Michael's Custom Framing 70% off sale, which is a great way to save some dollars on a custom built frame. And I like to pin mount all of my cross stitch myself. So I brought the frames home, and I got the other 2 framed this week. So let me show you what I framed. This one is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery National Park Birthday. Isn't that so cute? This is like a navy blue, kind of distressed, lightly distressed frame. And I just love how it turned out. I think the frame ended up being like an 8x9 opening. That's what kind of perfectly fit my piece. I stitched this, this was a kit from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery back in 2015, and I stitched it with the called for Picture This Plus 28 count Earthen, I believe. That's what it came with, and then all of the DMC colors. And I was talking about this on my Instagram, but these Frosted Pumpkin kits that they still offer, but back in 2015, they were kind of new to me. And they offered them in linen and Aida. And I, just being the extra need to do the fancy version, was like, ooh, I'm going to stitch on linen, even though I'd never done it. And taught myself how to stitch on linen, poorly at first. I got better. And that's how I got hooked on hand-dyed linen. That's how I discovered Picture This Plus and was like, oh, like, look at all these beautiful options for linens and like things to stitch on. And so, yeah. So thank you, Frosted Pumpkin, for that. And this was my oldest WIP of all time, going into the start of last year. And I can't remember exactly when I finished stitching this, sometime in early, like winter-ish of 2021, I think. But yeah, I finally got a frame for it, and I think it turned out so cute. So that's my Frosted Pumpkin. Okay, this next piece I am so excited to have framed. I stitched this in the spring, and let me just show it to you. Oh, this is Wildflowers by the Blue Flower. And I just think it's beautiful. This one, the previous one did not have glass. This one does have glass. It's museum glass, but you can still see reflections if it's straight on like that. So I'm just going to kind of tilt it. But I ended up going with this kind of white textured frame, and then adding in this little gold, kind of antique gold lip to kind of tie in all the like greeny gold colors in this with the white. I had a really hard time picking a frame for this, and I really do like this combo. But I think with the linen I went with, which was kind of like a more yellowy linen, I just was like, I don't know what color frame to use, but I went with white and I think it works. So let's see, Wildflowers. This is from the Blue Flower. I stitched it on 40 count. What was the color? I don't know if I'm gonna remember. I'll put it in the description box below or on the screen. But I stitched this on a 40 count, and I used all of the called for DMC colors and stitched everything as called for. And I just think it's beautiful. And I cannot wait to hang this up on the wall. So yeah, that's my Wildflowers. Okay, so the last FFO, so excited. I mean, I'm excited about all of them, but oh, this turned out so cute. Rob was like, it's so professional. And I was like, thank you. It's like my favorite compliment ever is when somebody's like, it's so professional. And I'm like, oh, me. I know. I'm ridiculous. I finished my kitty corn pillow. Look how stinking cute. Somebody in the comments last week pointed out how much I say how stinking cute, and I know, I can't help it. It just comes out of my mouth. There's the little kitty, and you can see I quilted it. Just did some little crosshatch straight line quilting. The binding is my piping. I used the black gingham, same as on my wall hanging. And yeah, I really could not be happier with how this turned out. So this is a 20 by 20 couch pillow in here, but the pillow cover finished at 19.5 by 19.5. I like to make them slightly smaller so the pillow like fills out, you know, the pillow cover a little bit more. So I started with a mini charm pack of the kitty corn fabric and 1 yard of this kind of mauve candy corn fabric. And I think I had just used like 1/8 of a yard or, you know, a 1/4 of a yard of this black and white gingham to make the binding strips. The pillow is the candy corn on the back with a little zipper to get the pillow cover in and out. I like to set my zippers slightly off the top so that way you can't tell like right where the zipper is. I like to have it down a little bit on the back of the pillow. So yeah, that is my pillow. I had this part of the panel left over from making my kitty corn quilt wall hanging. I'll put the picture in to remind you. And I just had this, the panel had these 2 smaller cats on them, and I was like, that would be the cutest on a pillow. So I had to make a pillow, and we've been enjoying this on the couch this week. I just think he turned out so cute. He's appliqued on there, and you can see the black blanket stitches around here. I did machine applique with fusible to get this guy on, and yeah, so I took a video. I'm like, what am I trying to say? I took a video of me putting this pillow together. I'm gonna kind of call it a sew with me segment because it's not a tutorial where I'm showing you exactly how each step works, but I'm just showing you how I put together a quilted pillow. So I took a lot of video of that, so I'm gonna put that together and put it in for you right here. Okay, let's make a pillow. Right here I have opened up my mini charm pack, and I'm just laying out all the little squares and figuring out how I want to arrange everything. Once I have the layout that I want, I move everything over to the side so I can cut out all of my background fabric. I am cutting out 2.5-inch strips to cut into 2.5-inch squares, and then I am cutting the strips to cut out my side triangles and my corner triangles for an on-point quilt. And then here you can just see that I am cutting down my strips into the squares that I need to make all of my background pieces. I have this really cool rotating mat that makes it really handy to cut these triangles out of squares. So that's a cool little tool that I have. And then here I am just laying everything back out with all of the background pieces so I can get an idea of how everything is going to come together, and so that I can start sewing my rows together. And then I stack everything in a certain way so that when I take it over to the sewing machine, I know which piece needs to be sewed to which piece. And this is where I am sewing all of my rows together. So I didn't film the entire piecing portion, but you get the idea. I'm sewing all of my squares together into rows, and then I sew all the rows together to create my little mini quilt top. And so here I have my panel, and I am cutting it out and getting a piece of double-sided fusible. I use the Heat and Bond Light. And I just lay my piece down on the fusible and kind of cut around it so that I don't have any overhang. I don't want to get fusible on my iron. And so here you can see the fusible is attached with the paper on the back. And I'm going to go ahead and use my super sharp applique scissors to cut around my applique. This one isn't too bad. There's just some tricky spots on the head with all the little hair, and you know, you kind of make an executive decision on how much detail to include in some of those areas. Okay, so I've got my applique, I've got my quilt top, and I am just looking to see, you know, what kind of placement I want. And then I remove the paper backing and reveal the glue side of the fusible and kind of get my applique in place. And then I'll take it over to the ironing board and iron it down. And now what I'm doing is preparing the quilt back. So this quilt backing will not be seen. It'll be inside of your pillow. And I'm just using a piece of, you know, plain muslin colored Kona cotton. And here I'm cutting out my batting for the quilt sandwich. Because essentially this quilted pillow is just a little mini quilt with a pocket for your pillow. So I'm making my quilt sandwich here for the front of the pillow. And so I'm taping my backing fabric down to my board to create some tension and smoothing out the batting and the top. And then I'm just using safety pins to secure everything together before I take it to my sewing machine to do some quilting on it. And so now that I'm on my sewing machine, I am using my walking foot to create some just crosshatch quilting lines. And I'm just using all of my seams as a guide. So I'm stitching 1/4 inch on each side of the seams, and just to create kind of, you know, like a little crosshatch diamond pattern quilting on my quilt top. Here I'm just using my walking foot as a guide to keep my quilting lines consistent on either side of the seams. And so I'm just going back and forth across the quilt, and I'm changing direction and moving around the quilt from the center out just to keep everything as even as possible, and so the quilt doesn't pull in any direction. Just trying to keep consistent lines. And you can see I'm just quilting straight over the top of my applique. I know a lot of times people don't like to quilt directly over appliques, but in this case for a quilted pillow, I'm not concerned by it, and I like the quilting going right over the top of the applique. Okay, so I've got my quilting done, and you can see here on the back what those quilting lines look like, a little more clear. And so now I'm just going to square up my quilt top and take off all the excess. Yeah, so now I'm ready to create my backing of the pillow. And so to do that, I'm just using this background fabric that I use on the front, and I'm cutting out a piece the size of the back of the quilt. And then I'm also creating a strip for the zipper, and I'll show you what I do with that in just a second. Yeah, so with my zipper strip, I'm using a basting stitch to sew it down to the back of the pillow. And so that creates this little channel. And so I used like about a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So there's some extra fabric in that seam. And so I lay my zipper down with the teeth on that seam line. And I sew my zipper tape to the kind of folded over fabric. And you'll see in a second here, after I get the second side sewn down, that then you can just seam rip your basting stitches, and then you have like a nice kind of tucked in hidden zipper. And it's one way I like to kind of, if I don't really want the zipper to be like the star of the show, right? I just can tuck the zipper in and hide it a little bit. So, and then it's also a nice way to make this pillow cover removable and washable, so you can take it off. And yeah, and so it's also because it's a seasonal pillow, right? I want to be able to remove the pillow cover and replace it with like a Christmas pillow cover. And so now I am just going to trim up the back of my pillow so it matches exactly the front, the quilt part of the pillow. And I'm trimming off all my excess zipper ends, making sure I move my zipper head into the center so I don't, accidentally run my zipper right off the edge. So here I am just going through and clipping my front of the pillow to the back of the pillow and keeping everything in place. So when I move it over to the sewing machine, nothing shifts. And here I am using my walking foot again to just sew 1/8 of an inch all the way around the edges of the pillow to hold everything in place before I start binding. Because when you bind, you're binding the front quilt with the back of the pillow together to create, your finished pillow. So here I am attaching my binding in the same way I would attach it to a quilt, where I sew it down to the back of the quilt first, and then I fold it over to the front to finish it. And just be sure when you're sewing over your zipper tape that you have your zipper pull pulled into the center so you don't accidentally sew over a zipper pull and break some needles. And then when I get to the end here, I like to fold my binding pieces into the center and trim 1/4 inch from where they meet. And then I attach them to each other, and I'm able to sew the binding flat down to finish it. And now I will flip it around to the front and sew down the binding to finish the pillow. I really like to do these quilted pillows because I feel like the binding is such a nice kind of piping and finished edge on a pillow, and I find it easier to put on than piping. So yeah, I really like using this binding technique for pillows. And then just finishing the last piece. And now we have a bound quilted pillow cover. So you can see the backing with the zipper all attached. Okay, so that's my kitty corn pillow. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm hoping to do some kind of more like sew with me segments. It's hard for me in the space I have to do a lot of like very detailed tutorials just because I don't have the biggest space. But it's not really hard for me to set up a camera that kind of like can see what I'm doing, roughly, like not like super in-depth detail, but to kind of get the idea. So yeah, so I might try and include more kind of sew with me stuff in future videos as I work on things, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So that was a kitty corn pillow. Okay, so besides the finishes, I only had one whip this week. Well, I had one cross stitch finish, but I can't show it to you because it's for an exchange. So let's see, maybe 3 or 4 videos from now I can show it to you. I'm trying to think, I'm like, when will they receive it? Anyways, I had one finish that I can't show you right now, but I did work on another thing this week. And then it's like, I want the credit. Like, who's grading me here? I'm like, give me credit. I stitched something else. But other than that, I had one other whip this week that I can show you, and I pulled out my Barbara Anna Santa's Trips. Santa's Rides? Santa's Trip. Oh gosh, I've forgotten. I'm gonna put it up on the screen and I'll show you a picture of it because it's a digital download. And here is what mine is looking like. I have not worked on this since last Christmas, and I love it so much. So I did an NPI conversion. This calls for DMC, but I, at the time, had just discovered how much I loved NPI silk. So I decided to convert all the DMC colors to an NPI color. Some of them were very exact matches and some were a little off, but I still think the colors are beautiful. And I have finished the first 3 blocks. And I think when I picked this back up, I had 2.5 done this week. And so I finished up this 3rd one, and then I started down on this 4th one and was working on my borders. So yeah. Let's see, what am I stitching this on? Let me look it up real quick. Okay, so this is Santa's Trips by Barbara Anna, and I'm stitching it on 40 count vintage maple sugar by Lakeside Linens with my own NPI color conversion. So this pattern is also available as like a full download now. I did the Sal last year, which is kind of annoying because I didn't realize there was an expiration on the Creative Poppy downloads, and I didn't download all of the charts last year, so I had to email them to be like, can I have the final version, please? So I think I have parts 1 through 7. So when I get to 7, I'm hoping they have emailed me back. Yeah, but that's my Santa's Trips. Okay, I just have a couple of pieces of haul I want to share with you. When I went to Las Vegas 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, I went into Stitcher's Paradise and I saw a model of a haunted house piece that was a Bent Creek design. And I shared a photo on my Instagram. I'll put it up here so you know what I'm talking about. And I just was immediately like, what is this? I'm obsessed with this. This is so cute. And Susie Reno commented on my Instagram story and was like, did you know there's a Christmas version? And I was like, okay, I'm listening. So we were talking about that. She showed me the Christmas version and I was like, well, I'm gonna need that right now. So I did some Googling, and it is still in print, so you can find it places, but I found somebody selling the full lot of patterns and beads on eBay for cheaper than it would be to go buy, you know, all the individual patterns. And so I bought this lot on eBay, and it's called the Christmas House, or Christmas the House. Christmas the House? Yeah, that's what it's called. And so it's by Bent Creek. And so the first chart comes with your house and the little sign and the first room, which is so cute. It's called, okay, so Christmas, the house, and then this first one is called Garland Party because they're all trimming the tree in there. And then we have Santa's Cocoa, which is another room. And the elves giving Santa his cocoa. And then this one is my absolute favorite. It has a little Raggedy Ann doll. It's the toy room. Wait, the toy shop? The toy room. The toy room. I mean, yeah. So, you know, I've already ordered supplies. I can't stop starting Christmas things. Who cares? I actually have been feeling like a little bit of a stitching rut lately where I don't want to work on any of my big projects. I don't want to work on any of my whips. I mean, some of them I do. But I just like, all I want to do is start and finish smalls. Like, I just keep starting new things and I keep finishing them. But like, I'm not working on any of my other projects. I don't really know what's going on. I just like, ever since we got back from Vegas, and even since like right that week before, I just felt like, I don't know. And I just start something new. This is how I get up to 40 whips. I don't think I'm quite at 40. I think I'm in the mid-30s, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just like, I have these big, beautiful projects and I want to go back to them. But for some reason, I'm just like, that feels like too much work. Let me start on a Christmas ornament, you know, or something like that. Whatever. It doesn't matter. That's like kind of how I've been feeling lately, where I'm just like a little bit all over the place, and I just want finishes. So I just keep starting small things that I can finish instead of going and working and putting progress into my big things that I want finished, but will take a little bit of, you know, a little bit of time. So I know it'll switch back and, you know, things will even out, but that's where I'm at right now. So yep, ordered supplies, and I'm sure this one will get started before Christmas this year, just because it's so cute. And the finish, I'll put the picture up again to remind you of the Halloween one. The finish they had on that like kind of 3-dimensional thing to where it looks like a house. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't even mention, I think I ordered it already on 123 Stitch, but there is not a secret chart, but there's a 4th chart. So the picture just shows this, right? But on the finish, I hope I took a picture. If I did, I'll put it up. But there was like a 4th design that like slid out of the back of the finish. It was so cool. And I can't remember, I think it was like the Potions Lab or something on the Halloween one. And on the Christmas one, it's a stable. And so I have, that chart wasn't part of like this kit, but I bought that chart, I think on 123 Stitch. So I'll have like all the parts, including the little like secret room. So yeah, I'm very excited to start this one. Okay, and then I got a package yesterday from Carla at Cobweb Corner, and she offered to do another giveaway for you guys, which means I also got a couple of charts. She also sent me this super cute handmade Halloween card, and the zit is like a little purple bling. I love it so much. It's either a zit or the witch has a nose ring. Maybe she's like a super badass witch and she's got a nose ring. You guys want a fun fact about Liz? About Pajama Liz? I used to have a nose ring. What? I know. When I was 19 and living in the dorms in college, my college roommate wanted her belly button pierced. It was the year, what year would it have been? 2002. So, you know, belly button rings were the thing. And she was like, come with me to the tattoo shop. So we walked, our dorm was like downtown in our little city. And so we walked across, you know, into the downtown streets and went to a tattoo shop. And while she was sitting there, like figuring out, you know, what she was going to get shoved through her stomach, I was like, I need something. So I picked out this teeny tiny little diamond nose ring. It wasn't a ring. It was like a stud, you know, like a little stick corkscrew. Guys, don't do it. Why would you ever? Don't pierce your nose. It's weird and gross. And it only lasted about maybe not even one full calendar year before I took it out and it closed up immediately. But for 1 year, I was so cool. I had a nose ring. Anyways, fun fact about me. So me and this witch, I get her. Oh my gosh, I'm ridiculous. Anyways, Carla, she said, oh, speaking of Carla, so I was going and watching her most recent Flosstubes, and her most recent video, I'll link it below, is a craft room tour, which, is there anything better than a craft room tour? No. So like, I will watch any craft room tour. If you have a craft room tour, link me to it. But she posted a craft room tour, and she has this gigantic, amazing Craftsman toolbox workbench, and the drawers on it are so perfect. I like need to research and Google. She said they were kind of expensive because it's like pretty heavy duty, but I don't know. I'd have to rearrange this room and get rid of some furniture, but that drawer setup looked so perfect, and like the worktop. Anyways, if you want a good craft room tour, go look and see at her cool like craftsman drawer setup. Anyways, I digress. She sent me 2 charts for me and 2 charts for you. So we can do a giveaway. So let me show you the 2 I picked out. These are both Halloween square dance from Heart and Hand. I have several of the Christmas ones. I think there's 4. I think I might have 3 of them. I think I'm missing 1. And so I decided I should get some of the Halloween ones. And so I picked my favorites, which were this one, because this little, the little girls in costume is my absolute favorite. I mean, they're all so good, but yeah, obsessed. And then I had to get the one that says Happy Halloween and the bats and then the little boys dressed up. I mean, I'm such a sucker for like little trick-or-treaters. I think it's so cute. So anyways, I got some Heart and Hand. And also ever since I did Friend Stitch, I've been like just obsessed with Heart and Hand and Bent Creek. And the 2 charts I picked out for you guys are Bent Creek. So let's do a giveaway as I just stare at these little charts. Okay, so to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber, like the video, and leave a comment. And in your comment, you'll just use the keyword. And this first one is Bent Creek Spooky Row. This is so cute. So like when I open this package, normally I remember instantly what I picked for me and what I picked for you guys. And I was like, wait, I think I thought I was getting all of these toys. I'm gonna go back and order this one and the next one because I'm like, oh wait, I need these. So this is the Bent Creek Spooky Row. I love, 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 love. This is like just the cutest. So there's that one. So if you want to enter to win Spooky Row, just use the word spooky in your comment. And then if you would like to be entered to win the Christmas row, use the word Christmas. I mean, look at the little popcorn garland and just this little polka dotted elf. Yeah, these are way too cute. I absolutely need to buy this one. Yeah, so those are the giveaway for this week. And thank you so much, Carla. You can find her website link down below. It's cobwebcorner.com. She has great charts at great prices. So go check her out if you're in the market for some Heart and Hand and Bent Creek or anything else. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the pillow tutorial or sew along. I don't know. Hopefully I'll do more stuff like that in the future. And then maybe someday in the distant future, I'll have an even bigger craft room space and I'll be able to do even more fun tutorials. I really enjoy doing them. I just have a lack of space and a lack of organization to get everything on shelves and off this table. If anyone knows a professional craft organizer in the Austin area, I'm all ears. It's like that one video where I tried to say like some folksy saying and I was like, why do I try to say things that I would never say in real life? I don't think I've ever said I'm all ears in my life, but yet I get on camera and I'm like, I'm all ears. Like, I am the cheesiest person in the world. But that's okay. It's probably time to wrap this up. From Pajama Liz, this has been Flosstube. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.